Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Horizon Zero Dawn on the Steam Deck. So the next game, Horizon Forbidden West, will release on PC in a few months, early 2024, around December, so we're almost there. And I wanted to check this one out on the Steam Deck. So first thing, the HUD scale can be changed, which is awesome. That means on the smaller screen we can see the HUD properly. So 1.15 at least look good to me. On display we got, well, resolution, upscaling, which can be FSR. Personally, I think it's not needed. You can play on native resolution if you want to, but I'm going to do a very small adjustment to the resolution so we can use our own FSR from the Steam Deck. So 1152 by 720. This is basically 720p on the Steam Deck screen, but 16 by 10. So now you can go down here to FSR and tweak the sharpness to your liking. I usually keep it on 1 or 2, but keep in mind that apart from getting better performance, this is going to make the UI blurrier, so keep that in mind. Then, graphics, we're using basically everything on medium with low textures because we're very short on VRAM and system RAM. As you can see, there is a shared pool of 16 gigabytes. Well, it's using 10 gigabytes by itself, and for the VRAM almost 5, so almost all the memory is allocated. So yeah, those are the settings, very similar to PS4, a little bit below PS4, especially in the texture side of things, but the game still looks pretty good. And I have a few stress tests to show you. So with the FSR on, I don't know why it's not on. Hang on. Alright guys, after fiddling around a little with the aspect ratio and display mode, I was able to enable FSR from the system settings. So as you can see now, you can tweak the sharpness as you desire. I like to put it on 1 or 2, probably 2 for the purposes of this video. So you get a lower pixel count, slightly lower, but you get a tiny bump up in performance. And again, for the testing, I just went into a place with a good amount of machines, plus rain, and I'm trying to run around as quickly as I can. But as you can see, as I move around in the map and it starts loading, you have those stutters that are pretty annoying. Hang on, let me do it correctly. Yeah, I think this one will do better. So here we go. So the issue are the effects, the traversal, especially when there is a good amount of machines, plus this environment. As you can see, when I do this, close to broken machines and all that, it's quite a problem. But if you look into 30, it will be way more consistent, which we're going to do in a moment. Let's flee a little from this machine in the meantime. We use heavy arrows now. Let's traverse a little bit further. Well, here, that traversal stutter. Even if you lower the resolution and settings further, I still run into this, not sure why. I'm pretty sure we are memory limited, again as I told you, because again, RAM 10 gigabytes, VRAM 5.2, and the maximum the Steam Deck has is 16. Oh god, this effect is killing it. But again, I'm in the middle of the forest, many machines, lots of rain. I'm trying some of the worst case scenarios here. But I have more saves that are interesting. The first thing that I will tell you is to lock it to 30 to make it way more consistent. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time, especially with those effects when they pop up. So yeah, let me show you another save. This is one of the final places of the game when you fight many machines and there's a good amount of effects. And this one will be rough, but don't worry, it's not a spoiler, we're just fighting a big machine. Okay, here we go. So there will be explosions, gunfire. So how do you make this better? You lock it to 30 so you don't detect it as much. That's basically my advice. As you can see, it can get pretty crazy out here. So my advice here again, there's two options. The first one is to go into display, unlock it to 30, like this. This is the in-game solution, which is not bad, but not great either, but for latency concerns, it's pretty good. So latency should be at an absolute minimum. So yeah, either that or the other option is to disable this one and use the one from the Steam Deck, which has more latency, but they improved it very few. Well, one of the latest Steam Deck updates focused on that, and what I gotta say is better. It's still not perfect. You can feel the latency quite a bit, but hey, better than nothing. An improvement is an improvement, as I always say. So again, in heavy moments such as those, you're going to drop into the 20s due to the amount of particles and stuff on the screen, which again didn't get better by me lowering the settings further. Trust me, I tried even the lowest settings without any shadows and it still happened. So yeah, that's my advice for this one. Lock it to 30. I even think, now that I'm playing it even more, that the Steam Deck's FPS cap is way better than the one inside the game. The latency is not so great, but the consistency is there. Come on, Halo, move! Anyway, I think it's time to jump into handheld so you can see how it looks on the smaller screen. Use native resolution instead, that also works. So we're going to keep that. So if you want to use 1172 by 720, that's great. You can tweak the FSR sharpness, which is the way that the system does it, which is great. Or you can use native resolution, which is a little less performant, but in general, even in heavy moments, this happens, that you get some stutters. So lock it to 30 and let's jump into the next part. Alright guys, welcome back. Now in portable mode, we are in native resolution, as I showed you a moment ago, because that also works for us. And let's reload this save. That is super demanding. So yeah, again, basically one of the last fights in the game. There's a lot of effects, a lot of machines.
Never seen so many machines. Take them out first.
So as you can see, even with the 30 FPS cap, not perfect, but pretty good still. It's too bad I cannot even fix this by lowering the settings. Maybe it's an engine thing. But we're clearly RAM limited. Those 16 gigs, we need a little bit more than that.
We're running out of time.
Anyway. So this is worst case scenario type of thing. Big machine, explosions close to the camera, getting attacked, all that good stuff.
Intensify aggression.
Aloy, they're going for you.
So yeah, let's jump into another save, the one that I was talking to you guys about at the beginning, which is this one that has multiple machines, but it's not that intense in comparison to this one, and you see some of the loading from the open world. Because the thing is, when you're running around the open world, you get those big stutters when traversing. And well, the rain doesn't help. I do it on purpose, of course. But this is a pretty demanding game still, despite being a PlayStation 4 game. See, when I get close to this area and it loads in, I get some stutters. And then, well, I have a good amount of machines going around. Let's make that machine explode. I'm pretty good at that sort of stuff. Whoops. It's been a while since I played this with a controller. There we go. Everyone's on fire now. Whoops. Oof. So as you can see, it's completely playable, at least in my opinion, especially when you're playing in, well, most of the time you're in the less demanding areas. Not dead yet. There we go, dead. But I think it's good to show the chugging points. Because, I mean, come on, you're playing the entire game probably. So when you're running around the open world, blah 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 blah, there is a good amount of machines around. You can run into stutters like this one. When it's loading a new location. And that's the reason why I always show this part. But I've been playing this quite a bit on the Steam Deck, and it's been fine for the most part, except that final battle, plus the being in the middle of the forest, running around, rain everywhere with many machines. And native resolution works quite well. You can lower the resolution again, like I showed you at the start, which allows you to control the sharpness. So that's optional, but it still has those spikes in the frame time. It's kind of inevitable, really. And by the way, I'm playing this on an SSD, but we are very RAM limited. 16 gigs unified memory, 10.4 gigs are on the RAM side of things, 5.4 gigs on the VRAM side. So yeah, not even turning shadows down, that is also memory intensive, worked for me. So I stayed in an in-between. Oof. So yeah, I wonder if Nix's porting the next game, Forbidden West, to PC will make it run similar to this or better, who knows. Maybe I'm wishful thinking too much. And considering the sequel to this game is on PS4, I think there's no reason it cannot run on the Steam Deck. I will find out soon enough. Oof. And it's on fire. Close enough. But I love this game. Knocking parts off the enemies and finding weak spots, I think is the best. So again, my advice is you lock it to 30, either with the Steam Deck's system-based FPS lock that is not that great in my opinion because of latency, or use a Mangoherd command that I mention on almost all my videos, which has a little bit of latency but is better than the built-in system-wide FPS cap, at least in my opinion. The one inside the game is okay, it does the job, but there's been more stutters for me. So yeah, I highly recommend this game on the Steam Deck. Unfortunately, yeah, we have that issue of the traversal stutter that happens from time to time, especially the first time you launch the game. Afterwards, it improves. It's not a million times better, but as you could see while I was fighting these robots here, it was 30 across the board. The thing is traversal. So yeah. Unfortunately, it seems to be memory related. But still, very good looking game despite low textures. And my conclusion for this, yeah, it's awesome on Steam Deck. It bothers me a lot that we have those stutters. Not sure how I will fix that, because even lowering everything to the lowest, it didn't fix it. But otherwise, it's pretty good. The traversal thing is what bothers me. Otherwise, it's great to play this on a handheld. I have most of my time of this game on PS4. I played a lot of it. So it feels similar to what the PS4 experience has been for me, except in those traversal stutters. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did revisiting Zero Dawn. I keep forgetting that I have more Sony games pending on the Steam Deck. So traversal stutters aside, it's awesome. So thank you for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys, thanks for watching.